straight into another brick out. We've got a straight edge of timber fixed to the wall that we use for the straight edge for grinding the bricks. Then we remove the timber so we can go in deeper with the cut-off saw. I personally like to fix the timber to the inside of the grinder blade, so that way then when you're fixing the timber into the wall, the bricks that you fix into are going in the bin anyway. I have read some comments that why do we not use the timber on the other side, so then if we slipped it wouldn't matter because we would hit the timber. But my answer to that would be just don't slip. We're using the Milwaukee water tank attached to the DeWalt 9-inch cut-off saw. And I'm going straight up now to keep that straight edge. And then I remove the timber so I can go in a bit deeper to make the cut as large as possible. The Milwaukee water tank works perfect. As you can see, there's no dust. The grinder did bite a little bit there, but as you can see, I didn't actually catch the face of the brick. And we've got that nice straight edge cut all the way to the DPC line. So with the hole being on the inside, that brick's going to go in the bin anyway. So that's why I would always fix to the inner side of the cut mark. It would be advised as well just to keep some of the bricks for the customer, or certainly ask them just in case they ever want to brick up an old boiler or a small window. Some customers don't want them because obviously they just get stored, but it is nice to ask. So we just lifted up the old blue tarpaulin sheet and relaid a new one. So we're just constantly working in that nice tidy area. I'm very particular with how I work. And then we start taking the old aluminium single glazed window out. Obviously not very efficient, secure, and it certainly needed time for a change. You obviously want to cut the bricks first so the dust just doesn't go inside the house. If you started taking the window out and then doing your cuts, then the dust is obviously going to go, more likely to go in the house. And then we get straight into taking the bricks out. These were proper Accrington red bricks, but the mortar hadn't bonded or had worn away, so they do come out really easy. When it's red brick like this, on the inside and the outside, it's normally the worst type of brick out to do. It normally takes a while to get it out. But the mortar had perished, it seemed, so it come out very easy, to be fair. Which I certainly wasn't complaining about. The last few brick outs I've done, I've had thermalite on the inside, so that's also been easier than red brick. I've purposely left the old side windows in because they've got the corner posts in, so that's what's supporting the weight above. So you couldn't just start taking the side windows out now because then there'd be nothing supporting the roof above. I do put some macros up when we start to take the side windows out a little bit later in the video. I'm just grinding the back edge of the bricks off now. That's what I'm doing there. Callum the apprentice. I'm going to have a word with him just to ensure he just lifts with his legs instead of his back. After watching this video, I did realise that he was lifting a little bit too much with his back. So the last thing we need is him having a bad back. We was originally going to keep these window boards for the customer to keep the cost down. We did actually change them in the end anyway. But that's why I've cut them there, so I could always cut them down afterwards, depending on where the new windows and doors land. And there we have it, the brick out's pretty much complete, just a few more teeth left to take out.
Don't you worry.
Then the cavity closer goes in. They're very satisfying to close off the cavity just from tool station.
Yeah. I'll get it scooped.
Just screw it into the mortar, it's not really taking any weight. And then again, just another bit of housekeeping. We get some of the dirty sheets up, relay fresh sheets. I like looking in a nice tidy area. And then it's levelling the sill. We have put some 450mm DPC down from the front to the back to bridge the gap. So when we put the internal window board down, it's protected by DPC underneath. As always, you've got a silicone seal underneath the sill, and we always joggle the sill. You can see the sill horns on either side. And then you've got to seal the sides of the sill, so no water ingress on the new plaster. We don't want any damp on the plaster. These French doors was agate grey as well. It's becoming a bit more of a popular colour. It's a bit of it's similar to charcoal green, but a little bit greyer. It's actually called Painswick Green by other manufacturers. And then we just put the acros in so we could take the side windows out, as they was acting as supports. And then we got the side windows out, and it's time to put the new windows in. The 20mm couplers we use as well has got a carbon brake in between. If you look, you can see the black carbon brake on the coupler, so then you're not going to get condensation running on the inside. A lot of suppliers just use a straight aluminium coupler, but in certain places like this situation where there's no radiator near the doors, you can get condensation dripping on the inside because there's no thermal break. And then it's time to tone and heal the glass. I have done a separate video on tone healing glass, which I will post sometime this week. Really cold as well, so I'm just heating up the expanding foam now. Just fine tuning the door to get it locking correctly, so it locks easily, but it's not letting any drafts through.
Pretty much takes a full thing.
We had a problem with van, so Deck's on about the antifreeze in the radiator on the van. Tradesman joys there.
This is Agate grey French doors with Georgian bar. There was a window before, we've cut it out. People often say that these doors they don't work properly, they catch, they bind. As you can see, our doors, little finger, easy, and they would lock now, no problem. Nice and secure, no drafts coming through. They're not going to start banging and clattering and letting drafts through. You can see the doors, if you stand there, Deck, you can see the doors are level at the top. That's the first thing we look for. If one door's higher than the other, they're nice and level, so they've been fitted equally. Side windows, you've got the trickle vents, compliant trickle vents. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. This was a window that we've cut out. Everything finished, the plaster is coming sometime next week to plaster the insides. As you can see, we've put the cavity floors in, ready for the plasterer. Everything's got a compliant trickle vent to help with the natural airflow. The door's open to 90 degrees. The customer opted for the Georgian bar in between the glass for this one, which I think really does suit this property. As you can see, our doors, little finger, no problem.